Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set up Vulkan for CODEBLOCKS, or set up CODEBLOCKS for Vulkan, and vice versa. We're going to launch CODEBLOCKS, and we're going to create a new project. Or you could go up here, File, New, Project, Console Application. Console Application. Click Next. We want this in C++. C++. Click Next. Vulkan setup. Where do I want this? I want this on the desktop. So we'll create a folder on the desktop. We'll call it Vulkan Tut, or Vulkan Setup. We'll call it Vulkan Tut. Okay, and save it there. Go to your Vulkan Tut folder. Desktop. And where do we want this file? We want our project in our Vulkan Tut folder. So desktop, click Vulkan Tut, select folder, click Next, and we want to make sure these two things are checked: create debug and create release. GNU GCC compiler. Click Finish. Double click on sources. Double click on main CPP. Okay, so we'll give it a rebuild, and it's working. Check your compiler, toolchain executables. Okay, I have a tdm.gcc 32-bit compiler. That's what you need to be using for Vulkan. And I'll go ahead and run. And I do have my hello world. Okay, so we want to change this text or the syntax, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go to this website right here. We're going to scroll down until you see this syntax right here. You want to copy and paste. We'll click on rebuild, and we'll find out what it's asking for. It's asking for glfw3.h. Okay, so in this instance, you go to glfw.com, glfw.org, and that's where you get it from. You click on this, and you'll have a download glfw 3.4, or you can, but you want to go to 32-bit version. You want to click on download, and you want to download 32-bit Windows binary. Now I tried this and it's not working. It doesn't launch the window. It doesn't work hand in hand with everything else when it comes to launching the window for the Vulkan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my personal version, or version that I've pre-set up in the past, because that's the one that's working, and I'm going to go ahead and upload it to the internet for you to download, so you won't have to deal with these files not working and deal with the window not popping up when you expect it to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my version of glfw, which is glfw 3.3.6 bin win32. I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'm going to paste it in my Vulkan Tut folder, my Vulkan setup folder, I'm sorry. And while that's doing that, we're going to go back in here we're going to set up our ink in our lib folders. So we go to new folder. We want to right click in a blank area, click new, click folder, ink underscore lib, and we'll do the same in there. New folder, enter, copy and paste that, include, and name this one lib. And we're going to go and set up these folders to be linked up with our code blocks. Okay, so we'll go in our project over here and we'll right click, build options, Vulkan setup. You always want to click on the top there, because whatever you do on the top works for debug and release also. And we'll go into linker, and no, I'm sorry, we'll go into search directories, click compiler tab, add, click the blue folder, and you want to find your include. It's going to be an inklib folder, and include. You want to select folder, keep this as a relative path. Yes, it's been working for me. Click OK. I'm going to click linker and do the same thing but for lib. Linker goes to lib. Match the L with the L. Add, click the blue folder, inklib, go to lib, select folder, click yes, click OK. Now we want to do a few things in here in this window right here. Oh, I'm sorry, first what we want to do, we want to go down to stdc17 and check that. That's going to be in your compiler settings. The compiler flags is going to be std17 down there. You should be able to see that. I'm sorry, let me uncheck that. So that's where it is. stdc17. Wish you were bigger so you wouldn't have such a hard time seeing it, but hey. Okay, and now what we want to do, let's go into our linker settings, click add, and type in glfw3, click OK, click add, open gl32, click enter or hit enter, click add GDI32, hit enter. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just click on debug. It asks us to save it. Click yes, you want to save. Go back up to Vulkan setup. We'll go down. Okay, we'll give another rebuild. Of course, nothing hasn't happened because we haven't added anything. It's still asking for glfw3. Okay, so we'll go on over to our glfw folder, which is what I'm going to include in the download in the description. I'm going to right click include, copy, go back, go in your inklib folder, you want to paste, because whatever that is in that include in glfw folder is going to be in the include in here. As you can see, glfw is now there. You have glfw3 and glfw3 native. Okay, we don't have anything in our lib folder yet, but we do have something in our include. So now that we have glfw3 in our include folder, we'll go ahead and give it a rebuild and check to see if it's still asking for glfw3h. It's not asking for it anymore because the red square is not there. The red square is now at the include vulkan.h. So we need to find our vulkan.h file. Where do we find that? On our website. The Vulkan website. You go to lunarexchange.com. and you click on Windows and you download the SDK, Vulkan SDK 1.3.296.0 installer exe. Now it's going to take a while to load. Take 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I will unpause it when it's done. And it's done. Alright, so now I'm going to go in show and folder. It's going to take me to my download folder. And you're going to see this little Vulkan SDK 1.3 there. That's where it is. So I'll go ahead and make a separate Vulkan folder in here. New folder, Vulkan SDK stuff. Now drag it in there. I'm going to install this. Run. Next. Next. Where do you want this to be installed? Let's install it here. Vulkan SDK stuff. Copy the path. Delete that. And we'll paste it right there. So we want it in our Vulkan tut, Vulkan setup, Vulkan SDK stuff. Or you can browse, and of course it'll be in the same area. Vulkan SDK stuff. That's where you want it. And you want to select folder. Click next. Do you want to continue? Yes. Click next. Okay, this is going to come with everything that needs to be installed. Select all. Click next. You want to click I accept the license. You want to read that. You might not read it, most likely. Click next. And you want to click install. And it's going to take a while, so I'll go ahead and pause the video again. When it's done installing, I'll unpause the video. Okay, now it's done. So what you want to do, you want to click the Vulkan. You don't want to run this right now. So I'll go ahead and run it and show you what it is. I don't know what to do with it because I haven't come across any information yet on what this is or what we need to be doing with it. So we'll go ahead and finish. We'll check that to check it out. We'll check that to see what it looks like, and we'll click finish. This window pops up. Close program. And this is what it is. Okay, so now if you look in your Vulkan stuff folder, you're going to see bin, bin32, cmake, config, lib, lib32, and a whole bunch of other files. I'm trying to rebuild. Let's see what it's asking for again. It's asking for Vulkan H. Okay, so this is where we go to get our Vulkan H. In here, we're going to see our Vulkan H. It's a Vulkan header file. You have two of them. I don't know how, but you have two. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to right click include, and we're going to copy it, and we're going to go back, go in our ink lid folder, we're going to paste it so that all that stuff in the include goes in our include folder. Paste. If you look in there, you'll see that it's all there. GLFW, DXC, GLM, GL Slang. You're gonna need GLM. You're gonna need GLM. So GL Slang, STL2, and all these other folders. You need that Vulkan folder because this is the file that you need. You need Vulkan.h. We'll go ahead and run a rebuild. Check see if it's still asking for it. It's not asking for it anymore. It's asking for some lib files, glfw3. Okay, so we're going to go in our lib. We're going to grab our glfw. We're going to go in our lib mingw folder because this is code blocks. And there's going to be 3 .a files in here. You want to highlight those. Right click, copy. Go in your ink lib, go to your lib, and you want to paste. Run a rebuild, check to see if it scans them. Now it's asking for VK enumerate instance extensions properties. Okay, that has something to do with Vulkan, of course. So we'll go back and we will go in our Vulkan SDK stuff. We will go in our lib32. We will scroll all the way down. You're going to see at the bottom vulkan-1.lib. Right click, copy. Go back into your ink lib. Go into your lib folder. Right click, and you want to paste in there. Let's run a rebuild and see what it's asking for now. It's still not detecting it, so what we need to do is go into our build options, and we need to go to Vulkan setup, linker settings, add. It's going to take us to our library folder, and you want to highlight all these. All these things right here are showing up in here now. So you want to highlight all these. You have your Vulkan-1.lib. You have your lib glfw3.a. You have everything that you need right there. You want to click highlight them and you want to click open. Keep this as a relative path. Click yes. Click OK. Click OK. We'll run a rebuild to see what it's asking for. And everything should be fine. So now we'll run, build and run, or you could just run, and you should get your Vulkan window with 5 extensions supported. Now I'm going to show you a little something. You should not have a problem running Vulkan if your hardware is good. Okay, we'll go to Vulkan SDK stuff. We'll go into bin, scroll all the way down until you see the little VK config logo. You want to double click on VK cube. You should be able to run that. Okay, 5 extensions supported. Some people get 12 on a specific tutorial I saw. Some people get 8. But I'm getting 5 extensions right now, and I shouldn't have a problem running this. Okay, so now you can keep this as a template. You want to go ahead and save everything. You want to right click, save project, and you want to keep this as a template right here. It's your Vulkan window. All you have to do when you get that window popped up, all you need to do is just start drawing stuff like vertices and triangles inside your window so that you can start making your little video games if you're going to be working on video games. If you need to go to the GLM website, this is the GLM website. You click on GLM website down here. You download it at the GitHub. You click on code and download zip, and that's going to be your GLM. there's your window. Thanks for watching.